Hey guys, Colton here from the EV Kingdom, and if you hear anything in the background, it's either the heater in my room or because it's raining where I'm at right now. Anyways, this is going to be a shorter video than normal, but I've honestly had this in my mind for a while. And it goes back to when I started my What If You Ruby Was in GX series. The comment that asked for it was mostly multiple thing, but I'm just gonna go over what was mostly mentioned. And that was about what decks they would use. Honestly, that thought has been crossing my mind for a while. Well, after that, and after finally figuring out what decks they would use, I made them. Now, I use the website known as Yu-Gi-Oh! Nexus. Basically, online Yu-Gi-Oh! With all the cards. Anyways, I wanted to go over each of their decks and just explain a little bit about them because I might actually end up making it into a full series. By that, completely different from the one I'm already doing, and where I'm just going to take the story of RWBY and add Yu-Gi-Oh to it instead. So they're allowed to use whatever cards they want, and their decks will be the way they are. Now, I'll go over why I added these cards, why I think it would best suit them, and keep in mind, I'm not an excellent deck builder. Or more, I'm able to make decks. So if it doesn't look competitive or like it would actually work, yeah. Some of them, though, I did use other decks as references. So, yeah. Anyways, let's start off with the first deck, and the one I'll be going over right now, Yang. Okay, before anything, her ace monster will be Winged Dragon Ra, mostly because as when they mentioned it, they already had some references. Ruby having Black Rose, White's having Cyber End, Blake having Utopia, and Yang, well, let's just say me and them both agreed Yang with Ra would make sense. But that's not her main card. She also uses a Red Eyes deck. So you can tell a lot of these cards, and also sorry for the picture, I took them straight from my computer, so not the best quality, but you can at least see what some of the cards are. Now, before anything, in lore, or Yang would be. Any point is, a lot of you may be thinking Red Eyes would work a little better for a Raven instead of Yang, but honestly, I wanted to keep it like this. It's because Yang would have had knowledge of her mother and would kind of been interested in the Red Eyes. Plus, it just makes sense. Yang's semblance, her eyes turn red, and her hair blazes up. And Red Eyes does specialize in dishing damage, while also making you deal damage to yourself at times. So yeah, I wanted to go with that. It's not a perfect deck, where if I give it to Raven as well, it would kind of be more different. Yang's just playing cards until she gets a strong monster on the field, while Raven's deck would actually be more focused on summoning one or two ace monsters. It'll show how different they are and why they would be at school while learning how to duel. Yang's ace would still be Raw because, honestly, the GX scene where the fake Raw exists, I kind of got inspired by that moment. It will appear in the series, but yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna move on to Blake's deck now. Okay, first off, covering the elephant in the room, Blake is a ninja. Tell me otherwise. And second, yeah, her deck looks a little more playable than the others' element, or at least less of a mess. Mostly I'm making this as a reference to her time in the White Fang. In the series, I plan on having the White Fang more act as the enforcers from 5Ds. Yes. Faunus will still play a part in the series. I'm not taking that part out just because, but it's gonna be more just discrimination rather than slavery. So, lesser of two evils. Anyways, I wanted to make this reference to her time in the White Fang with her ace monster Utopia. Yes, you don't see Utopia in the picture where I covered the ace monsters, but that'll be the monster she uses often. Utopia is still there, and I added Utopia Ray V. Victory. I'm planning on adding Ray V as well, and I left Barbarian Limited Force in the deck. That is an indication of her time as a White Fang member. It still plays a part in her deck, so she still has it as an option. Anyways, her deck is a little more finite and a lot more playable, and more structurally balanced, showing that she has more experience in duels than the other two. Well, 4. 3. Math. Believe me, yeah, I'm actually good at math. I just drew a blank at that moment. Anyways, yeah. I also added a for hire card. Well, 2 actually. Mostly to reference her Faunus heritage. Also, it's just 1 card. And it still works with her deck. So yeah, I'm going on to Yang Weiss's now, but if I had to say anything, I like Blake's deck a lot. Ninjas are awesome. Okay, Weiss's deck is going to be a little more different from what the comment mentioned. Now, I was able to at least keep some of the cards from that conversation. This one, however, I wanted to go a different route. Mainly because A, I understand in the Cyber End Dragon series is a lore-based deck, and in GX it goes from family to family. Remember? So I understood that, but Weiss doesn't fit as a Cyber Dragon in Duelist. Second, I read the GX manga, and when I seen this and thought Team RWBY dueling, I instantly thought Ice Queen, Ice Majesty, and Ice Princess. Well, Blizzard Princess. Yeah, I instantly thought that. I also added the Berry Magician Girl, the Magician Girl archetype as well, mostly as a reference to, well, I wanted to keep the entire idea of family being passing down. And I wasn't gonna add Cyber Dragon, but Dark Magician does fit the criteria for passing down to the next generation. So Weiss would pick up the Dark Magician girls and the Ice Queen, Ice cards from her family. I also added a Silent Magician because honestly in the GX series I'm giving it to her because I really like the card. And it just fits Weiss's theme. So yeah. And as you can tell, not really a huge variety of spells or traps, but yeah. She mostly relies on what strategies she can make. And she still has some powerful cards. Last but not least, he's the one, the only, the goofball herself, Ruby Rose, and her Black Rose Dragon. Or more accurately, her Rudy Rose Dragon. I'm gonna be completely honest with all of you. I actually thought it was pronounced Ruby Rose Dragon. So, the instance I heard this card, I knew it was going to go into her deck. Now, I actually did use a deck listing to dictate this one, but I just added more cards because I thought they were cool or more situational. I have placed play tested a lot of these cards, so I somewhat know how they work and somewhat know how to play them. This one was more of a 50-50 than the others. Weiss's actually being more of a 40-60 in win-loss ratio. Maybe less. But yeah, I don't really need to explain these cards. It just makes perfect sense for RWBY. In fact, the comments mentioned Black Rose Dragon for RWBY's Ace Monster. It just makes sense. So yeah, I don't really have much to talk about this. But in the lore of the series, if I end up making it, RWBY was inspired by her mother, who is a plant duelist as well, using the angels, Rose Angels. I did add them into this deck, as you can see. But yeah, RWBY mostly plays with luck as her basics. Now, throughout the series, they will improve their decks and make them They will make their decks more viable and more consistent. But honestly, yeah, that's all I can really say for this deck. This deck. Anyways, I'm gonna call it for this video. Originally, I thought it was gonna be like 5 minutes, but after doing the voiceover, it ended up becoming a lot longer than I thought. So, well, at least I'll have a 10-minute video or so. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. I haven't really been doing deck buildings much, and I never been good at it, so let me know if there's anything I can tweak with these decks, making them a little better. I still want to keep their ace monsters and the lore aspects of their cards there, so yeah. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know if you want to see more of these types of videos, or if you want me to just make more what-if content. And all of this really helps. And I hope to see you all in the next video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And I hope I didn't stutter or make any slur my words or any of that. I hope to see you later. Bye.